everybody. Welcome once again to Nerds with Alcohol. I am Russ.
And I'm Chris.
And it is our, or at least my triumphant return back to the virtual nerd basement. Sorry, gang. I've been gone for a couple of weeks, but I had to, it's 2:03, so, got to come back, right? Episode 203 in the virtual nerd basement. It's nice to be back. I missed you guys. I missed Chris. The whole thing. It's been a hell of a couple of weeks for me. But I guess we can talk about that pretty much right now. Chris, how was your week?
Well, my weeks, because we weren't on at all last week. So because
I saw that. I'm sorry.
With you having to work so much and me kind of looking around, and I could have had a couple people, but there was kind of last minute, that type of thing. But I'm like, you know what? No, I could use a week off too, just to have a break. But with all the stress and everything going on with the quarantine and everything again. But it's been all right. I mean, it's pretty much the same old now. I mean, we're back in lockdown. We're back in back to phase 2.
Yeah. At least it's not quite as bad as it was the first time around.
No, I mean, we get to have, takeout food and stuff like that still, which is nice.
Well, they haven't completely shut down retail either,
Yeah.
People can still go shopping and get I mean, I think it'd be a horrible idea to shut down, shopping during the Christmas season. So.
Yeah, well, but there's still not going to really be a Black Friday from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of stores are shut down again and only doing like curbside and all that.
I mean, there's still going to be a lot of Black Friday sales, but they're mostly online or, call and pick up and things like that. So I don't know. See, I did see that apparently, the PlayStation 5 obviously was released on the 12th this month. So it's only been about 2 weeks now. But they are sold out just about everywhere. Apparently.
Dude, they were sold out. They were sold out before it came out.
Right,
everywhere.
Exactly. I mean, you were lucky. Stores were lucky to get maybe as many as half a dozen beyond what the pre-sales were for, and they were just snapped up like that. People were buying them and reselling them on Facebook Marketplace and eBay for 4 or 5 times what they paid for them, and people were buying them, which is ridiculous. No, me neither. Because you wait 2 months. And there'll be plenty of them on the shelves.
Dude, they're saying there's going to be there's a bunch of places that are saying they're going to have them in stock this week.
Yeah, actually, Walmart just announced that they're going to have them. They're going to restock them at 9:00 tomorrow night.
Yeah, I saw that. And what's funny is if you look on Walmart.com and you look, the PlayStation 5 only gets a 2.8 rating out of 5 stars. It actually has more 1-star reviews than 5-star reviews.
Yeah.
And what's funny is I started looking through them because I'm like, well, let's see what the bad ones are. Because everybody that I'm seeing is like, oh, it's the best system ever. This is the greatest thing ever. So I click on the 1-star reviews and I start looking, and it's all about Walmart and not the PlayStation. It's all, they're giving it low ratings because Walmart sucks. And people's boxes were showing up ripped, and there were people that one guy said that he got one, it didn't work, and he couldn't get them to exchange it because they don't have any to exchange.
Right.
So
because I'm hearing overall, for the most part, mostly positive reviews. There have been a few flubs. There have been a few things where people say, well, mine crapped out, or whatever, and that's going to happen a few times. They're brand new. They're just coming out. And they did do a shit ton of testing on these things. So I'd imagine they got a lot of the bugs worked out. It's not going to be like the 3 where they were, they went through some massive model changes within the first year. But this, still I give it some time, even just wait until after Christmas. I mean, they've got to,
I don't think I'll be waiting as long as I waited for the 4. I mean, the 4, I waited a full year.
I waited a good 18 months on the 4.
It was about a year before I got the 4, because I got it. I actually just Facebook just reminded me of when I got my 4. It was 5 years ago.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was a while ago. I think it was 5 years ago.
I'm not gonna wait that long. I'm sure I'm gonna get it relatively soon.
Oh
But
yeah.
I'm not gonna get. I'm not. Although there is a part of me that wants it, my precious.
Yes.
I want. I'm really like. I keep hearing good things about it, and I keep hearing like, how beautiful the games are, and even how beautiful the PS4 games are on it, and things like that. So I definitely, there's a part of me that wants to go to Walmart on Wednesday tomorrow night and see if I can get one. But I'll give it a couple weeks before. I was even thinking about possibly just waiting until I come back from Florida. So, and or maybe picking one up when I'm down there. I don't know. It just depends.
Have you heard anything about the Florida about barf and?
Not yet. But that's not out of the ordinary. A lot of times I don't hear from them until like January, until I contact them and say, hey, I'm just coming down there. I haven't gotten my contract yet. I'd like to get it, and then they'll go, oh, okay, yep, here you go, and they email me the contract and stuff. But the one thing that has had me a little concerned is that I haven't seen any like any kind of action on the Facebook group. Most of the Facebook group is people promoting, some of the other cast members promoting their various projects and stuff. So that's a little worrying, but I do know that the festival management of themselves is making plans and whatnot. So as far as I know, and Florida governor has already said that he won't be shutting the state down again. So
that's because he's a Republican.
Right, he's an idiot, and
I said a Republican. I didn't.
No, he's a straight up idiot. This guy's a straight up idiot. It doesn't matter whether he's Republican or not.
Yeah, well, yeah, because he's the one responsible for like the 11,000 new cases in one day, right?
Something like that. Yeah, I mean, just
they said
his mishandling. The Florida governor is probably one of the best examples of the conservatives, the Republicans particularly, mishandling COVID-19. So, and one of the reasons why Florida was the biggest hotbed of coronavirus, in the entire country for quite a while.
Yeah. Well, I mean, back to what I was saying though. Yeah, my week was pretty much the same. Work. I mean, I got a couple of new programs that I'm going to talk about. We had our game last Friday.
Our game. Mm-hmm.
Tavern Nights, which that was a blast.
I was able to come in a little bit late.
Yep.
But I was able to come in, thankfully.
My buddy Steve over in Ireland actually watched us live. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing up?
Critiqued my Irish accent.
Yes, he did.
Which I still think is unfair. Because my Irish accent is okay for American ears, but I'm sure it does sound. I'm sure it probably sounds to an Irishman. You see, that's the thing. If I were to go over there and immerse myself, within a week, I could sound like a native. I'm sure, because I have kind of a knack for it. But I mean,
dude, Renee and I with it when we did our honeymoon over there, within a week, we were talking, and we were trying not to because we didn't want them to think we were making fun of them or anything like that. But we were just picking up the accent. And
I would imagine, like, to an Irishman, I probably sound like somebody trying to do an Irish accent. So, and then that's the other thing too. I think when he commented, it was right after, like, I wasn't quite in my groove yet.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah, I saw you on there, CD. Thanks for coming out Friday night. That was awesome,
thanks, man. That was really cool.
But yeah, Rich, I didn't realize there were 15 of those undead lizard things in that room.
Yeah, that was a
lot. But yeah, the game itself has been a blast. Steve said he loved it. He thought it was a great time.
Getting better and better. We just hit 6 levels, so
yep.
We're getting those powers, getting up higher and more powerful. And 6th level is still pretty, it's still pretty low level, of course, but hell, I'm at 74 hit points already for level 6. Yeah. I'm pretty fucking.
You're beefy.
And then we got Ed's character Bennick he's now the tank because now he's
Yeah.
stronger and he's, I mean, with that, what was it? Heavy armor mastery or something like
Yes,
that.
heavy armor
Yeah.
mastery.
It gave him a +2 to his strength. It brought him up to
Plus
20
plus one to his strength.
+1 to his strength. Excuse me. They brought him up to 20, and I'm at 18, and so that's the joy of being a fighter. You can get a feat every other level, so that's pretty fucking wild. But the thing is, I'm also now Mr. Saving Throw, so and that's pretty great. My saving throws are probably the highest in the party.
I didn't think about it. That's what I should have named the episode. Was poor decisions.
There were a couple in there. So before we get into that stuff, to give people a heads up, I am available tonight to be on the show because as of Thursday of last week, we found out that the Thanksgiving Day Parade out of Detroit has been canceled largely due to the fact that we went into lockdown a second time. Originally, the parade was going to be strictly televised, and we weren't going to allow any audience, any spectators, and it was just going to be pretty much just floats and balloons. There weren't going to be any of the marching bands, things like that. And as of Thursday, we found out that they had decided to cancel it because they felt that there was no safe way to socially distance. So, and even just for the people down working the parade and everything. So Thursday we were informed that we had 2 more days or a day and a half basically to finish up everything, because at that point we had more or less finished. We had a big deadline on Wednesday morning, and so we worked tirelessly. I was at the studio until 11:30 on Tuesday night, and then to finish off the Kellogg Foundation float so that could be premiered on Wednesday. And the funny thing was too is the big premiere that we had was a single camera woman, a single reporter, and a single camera operator for Channel 4 to basically go, look, this is the new float for the Kellogg Foundation. That was it. There wasn't a big to-do. There was nothing. That was it. So we had to have that. We had to have it mostly like 90% done. And then, so we polished off that. And then we were like, okay, now we've got, the next 4 days or so to finish up, 4 or 5 days to finish up the Skillman float for like Monday, which is the Skillman float is, of course, I've talked about it before, is the float that we make that's designed by a Detroit school child, and we do our best to make the float look like the things on the kid's drawing. And so we thought, we've got like 4 days, we can bang this out, no problem. No, Thursday we find out that we have to have it done by Friday, because Saturday because the parade has been canceled, and now Saturday we're going to put together a kind of we're going to film some footage of the floats for Thanksgiving, and in a like basically in an area not far from the studio, and so we had to have everything done. So Thursday and Friday we were there until I worked in 6 days. I worked 80 hours.
Yeah.
So almost just shy of 80 hours. So I'm exhausted. I'm still exhausted. My final paycheck will be glorious. I probably have at least, I have because I'm paid for 2 weeks, and I had a good 15 hours of overtime the week before, and then another I had another 30 hours on this check, and then on Saturday would be another pay period, so it'll be another one. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty nice paycheck, but I won't have to worry about buying that PlayStation 5. So it was really disappointing. We worked really hard, really, really hard, harder than I think I've worked in years, and we were on a very short time frame, and it was very difficult, and we pulled it off. We got everything done, and now it's the true premiere of these floats. People won't really see them until next year, which is,
Yeah.
some of us were thinking, well, hey, now we're ahead of the game. Now next year, because apparently we're looking at the contracts, and we have like, I think something like at least 4 floats that are going to either be, going to be new, like 4 of our sponsors, clients, or whatever are due for new floats next year. So at least, and that's not saying, we might not get some new ones or whatever else too. So next year's parade is going to have a lot of pretty much brand new floats. So we'll be, and we're hoping that next year, because of this and everything, that we make sure everything gets taken care of a lot earlier in the season.
Yeah.
So, my boss was like, "Are you still going to Florida?" And I go, "As far as I know, I believe so. My plan is that." So, I am actually going to probably be within the next couple of weeks,
hey,
looking into information about the Florida.
At least this year, if and when you go to Florida, we got a system set up now.
Yeah,
that we know what we're doing as far as a remote setup.
Yeah, although I do have to look into. I tried using Zoom on my tablet like last week or something like that, and I had a real tough time. So I couldn't get it. I got the visual to work, but maybe I need to have an earbuds in or something.
Maybe I don't know.
Because I know Zoom has an app for my tablet.
I'll tell you what. Let's test it before you leave.
Oh yeah. Well, at the very least, if we have to go back to Skype, we know Skype does work, even though it's not quite as nice.
Yeah, I'd have to reset Skype up now because I think I killed all the scenes that I had set up with Skype in it. And what's funny is, so Skype uses a technology called NDI, and there is something at work that the audio visual team uses that's NDI. And I was on a call and they were talking about it, and one of our VPs actually was like, it's like, NDI sucks. And I'm like, I actually was on mute and I was laughing so hard. He's like, it's nothing but problems. I've never gotten it to work right. It always causes issues. I'm like, yeah, it does.
That's funny. Well, I'm sure we could get it to work. It's probably just, like I said, I don't have a laptop. I use my tablet, and I'm sure we can get it to work. It's probably just the settings or something. I don't know. So enough about me and that. It's a bummer, but you guys are, there will be a place to check the news, check your internet, whatever. I'm sure you will. They'll be premiering on Thanksgiving morning some of that footage. I believe they're going to be. They put together footage about some of the production and stuff like that. So you may get to actually see what we worked on. So,
cool. Well, what are you drinking?
You know what? Some lovely woman gifted a whole box of Black Fang on my porch a week or two ago, and so that's what I'm drinking tonight, guys. Black Fang from Bee Nectar. It is my favorite of their cider or their meads. Excuse me. This is of course the blackberry, clove, and orange zest, and it is fantastic. It was their first variation beyond a zombie killer.
Yeah, so, and what's the description of the flavor profile on that?
It tastes the way City Club feels. The infamous goth club that was that is still limping along in Detroit City Club.
Is it still going?
I believe it is still open on some nights. It may be closed again for COVID, but
yeah.
That's Friday and Saturday, and it's still kind of limping along. Particularly now that some of the other smaller clubs have closed, such as that where some of the goth community went to, like Northern Lights Lounge and Smalls. Looks like City Club may be seeing a resurgence in their fan base. But this is a great stuff. I've always loved it.
Move it over a little bit more. There you go.
It's in front of my face now.
Yeah, if you put it in front of
Yes,
your face, you know that people can
you
see it.
know it's going to be there, right? Renee dropped off. This is part of the new batch for the season. It is their, unfortunately, it is their fall flavor. They don't make it year round now, but I get it. You can't have joy
You
all
can't
year
make
round.
everything all year long.
Correct. So that's what I'm drinking tonight. Is another lovely Black Fang. So what are you drinking?
I am actually also drinking something from Bee Nectar, but I am drinking a beer.
What?
Yes, this is the Brandy Buck Porter, which I mean I'll show you the can, but um, it is nice and
Wow.
dark.
Well, it's very dark.
But yeah, this was made by Ian from our from Tavern Nights.
Right.
This is it's only 3.5% ABV, so it's a really
Only three and a half?
yeah, it's only 3.5. It is a low ABV product, a session beer, but it is extremely full bodied. It is a much well, Guinness has slightly higher ABV. Guinness is a lighter beer than this. This
Okay.
actually has Guinness to me has a really light body. This has a very full body. Um, it's actually a very kind of thick beer. Um, it's very roasted, and even has it's got some smoke on it too. Um, kind of peaty.
Okay.
Um, um, it's definitely one. I don't know if I could have more than one of these. It's definitely a sipping beer. It is not. Um, it's not one that I could sit and drink all night. And it's definitely not one I could just down. It's one that I would sit and sip. I could see drinking this and having a cigar or something like that. It's that kind of thing.
Okay.
I will give this probably 3.75. I'm not usually big on the smokier beers, but this one it's not overpowering like some of them.
Okay.
But it does just have that little bit of smoke. So
All right. Well, some people. So you'd say it's a solid beer made by our friend
yes,
Ian.
yes, it is definitely a solid porter. It is very good. It's just got that, like I said, this got that hint of peat at the end, a little bit of smokiness. Um, and but yeah, it's actually not bad. But yeah, it's a Brandy Buck Porter, named after the hobbits.
Well,
So
very, very cool.
so you were mentioning PS5, and
Oof.
that is, I actually have a game that I bought recently. I bought Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Oh, I'm so
For
looking forward to playing that game.
well, I bought it for the 4
Mhm.
because I get it a free upgrade for the 5 once I actually
See,
get the 5.
that's really cool, and I'm digging it. I'm glad they're doing that shit. But at the same time, you're gonna definitely have to make room on your hard drive for that. You get an upgrade, yeah, but you get an upgrade through download, and
Well, yeah.
there's a few of those that I'd rather just
Well,
wait
I
until
downloaded
it's
this
done.
game anyway, so
Okay.
but yeah, so that's the plan is that way I can play it on the PS5. But I'll tell you what, even on the 4, this is a gorgeous game.
Sure. That's
It
what I've been
is
hearing.
it's right up there. I would say it's right up there with Horizon Zero Dawn
Nice.
as far as beauty goes. And it's the same type of thing. It's you're in the mountains, you're in the fjords because you
The
are a Viking.
fjords. Are you pining for the fjords?
No. Excuse me. Um you can ride a Mustang.
Okay.
So a fjord Mustang. Um
Oh. I was referencing Monty Python, but go right ahead. Fjord.
but anyway, so It's one of those things, though. You are a Viking. You are. It's all about going out and fighting, and you do meet the assassins, and so you kind of start learning their stuff, and you learn to assassinate eventually. I'm only. I've got probably 6 or 7 hours into the game right
Okay.
now, maybe a little longer. And I've barely done anything. I'm still at like the main village. I've kind of just got out of the main village, and yet I'm still going back and exploring things around there because there's so much to find.
Okay.
And you look at your map, and there's little blue dots for mysteries and little yellow dots for uh, wealth, and so you go and explore those and things like that, and it's actually a really cool game. I mean, I've only played one of the other Assassin's Creeds, and it kind of got a little dull for me
Yeah.
because it was very much the same thing over and over and over again. And while I like a good stealth game where I can
Yeah.
stealth around and take people out and things like that, it's the way I play my like Far Cry. I was a sniper.
Mhm.
I would sneak around and just pop people from a distance,
Yeah.
and I really liked that.
Kind of fun to use arrows in that game too sometimes.
See, I never really used arrows. I never really got into using arrows or shotguns. I basically used sniper rifles and assault rifles.
Well, you limit yourself. Unfortunately, you limit yourself if you don't like trying to play some of the other weapons because you get you get points and accomplishments if you for every you get 30 kills with a shotgun and it gets you an accomplishment that gives you points to spend and blah 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 blah. But yeah, no, I get it. I lean more so on the assault rifle myself when I'm playing it, so I get it.
But yeah, so but this, yeah, you can either play with like one axe and a shield, or one weapon and a shield, or two weapons. You can play with a two-handed weapon. It's whatever you want to play,
Hmm.
and you can upgrade your weapons. You can get tattoos and change the way that you look. And I
Very
believe it was
cool.
Ian was telling Renee that there's one setting where if you set it to look a certain way, it looks just like Paulie Brady. Um,
I'm sure he'll appreciate that. I'm sure he'll appreciate that. I don't think he listens regularly, but I'm
No,
sure he'll appreciate that.
no, but his song
So
is on regularly, and
it is. It's
and
on
actually it
every.
gets flagged on YouTube every time. Every one of our episodes on YouTube is flagged as a copyright claim.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I've talked to him about it a couple times. He's like, "No, dude, you got." He goes, "We may have to get some paperwork signed or something like that." He goes, "But you've got rights to use it." So,
Funny, awesome. Well, cool. I mean, so the game is spectacular. Then I've heard
yes,
great things.
I am really enjoying it. I got to get back to doing it because I've got some other stuff that's taken my time, like doing stuff for our game for
Right.
Tavern Nights and stuff like that. I've been doing a lot of stuff, but I really want to get back to playing it, and I'm really hoping that with the 4-day weekend coming up and nothing going on because of COVID,
Hmm.
that's all I'll be doing. I may sit and watch the Lions get their asses kicked on national TV, but
Well,
other than that,
at least you're not going to be disappointed. If
yeah.
you go in figuring that, you're not going to
Well,
be.
yeah, that's the thing. It's I may only watch the first quarter. That's what I did last week. I watched the first quarter and went, nope, I'm done. I can't watch anymore. I'm not even really watching them that much anymore because they frustrate me so much.
Yeah, but then that was the thing. I mean, a couple, like, what was it? Like a month or two ago, they surprised the fuck out of people. Like they had like um, two or three
They're
big wins, and
That's the
it
thing.
was
They're gonna win just enough games to where the Ford family won't fire the coach, and
yeah,
he'll stick around for another fucking losing year next year. The coach and the
what are you gonna
GM
do?
both need to be fired.
Oh, for sure. Um, I don't know enough
I
about
don't I
that
don't even
about
know
it
who they're
to make
playing.
too many.
Honestly, CD, I don't even know who they're playing on Thanksgiving. I actually have to look that up.
Um, I am actually glancing through my Amazon wish list right now. I just noticed like the
Oh, they play the
PS4.
Texans. They play Houston.
Okay. Not to switch gears, but I just noticed The Avengers game for the PlayStation 4 has dropped down to $26.99.
Oh,
That's enough for me to like go. Maybe I'll just pick that one up right now.
yeah.
And Last of Us Part 2 has been dropped down to $30. Now that doesn't surprise me with Black Friday coming up, and the big sales and everything. But there's also it looks like there's a new official release date for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is March 31st.
Okay.
So that's cool. I'm just, like I said, I'm just glancing at my Amazon wish list. I'm like, okay, cool. Here's a few things. Awesome. So your plans for Thanksgiving then are what?
Stay home and play video games, watch TV,
Yeah,
work on D&D.
it was funny. Stella I called my sister and I'm like, or texted my sister and I was like, hey, what's going on? And she's actually down in Florida with my parents right now. With she brought the nephew and they went down there. And so I'm like, and Stella was like, do we have any plans? I go, I don't think so. So we're probably, her mom is going to probably come over. We're going to make some food. And, and she at one point, she goes, do you want to just order from like Anita's? And I'm like, I don't feel like Middle Eastern food is what I kind of want on Thanksgiving. No offense to the Middle Easterners or anything, but I just think I'd like a mashed potato in there somewhere. It's
yeah.
We don't necessarily have to have a turkey, but it's just a few things. And so
I guess Renee's mom is bringing us over some food tomorrow. She's bringing over like some turkey breast and some stuffing for me and like something for Renee. And I had thought about actually getting like a small turkey breast for myself and maybe doing some like mashed potatoes and some stuffing and actually making like a small Thanksgiving dinner. But Renee actually doesn't like Thanksgiving dinner. There's almost nothing there that she either likes or can eat. So it's one of those things where she doesn't like stuffing. She doesn't like green bean casserole. She actually hates that, and I love it. So I was actually thinking about making some of that too, but then I'm like, but it's just for me. So,
well, your wife's weird, and and my girlfriend's weird. So I mean, there's a lot of weirdness when it comes to Thanksgiving in our families, unfortunately. So, but yeah, whatever. It's I just want to have some cheesy mashed potatoes and probably some sort of meat protein. And
see, we've never done like the cheesy mashed potatoes or even the cheesy potatoes. We always just did just the regular mashed potatoes in my family.
You have never had my mashed potatoes. You are
no, I haven't.
Out.
I have not had your mashed potatoes.
I will have to make them for you because my mashed potatoes are glorious, fucking glorious. They have gotten me laid. You are welcome. You think I'm joking?
No, I actually, knowing you, I don't think you're joking at all. I know you're serious.
Hey, man. Women like a guy that can cook.
Yep.
Okay. That's
yeah. I've actually never done like a Thanksgiving dinner. I've
never done a full Thanksgiving dinner myself.
It's one of those things where I've like always thought about it, but someone else always has been doing it. And right. I'm like, right. Okay, if I don't have to go through it. But for me, the part of the problem with that is, well, that means I don't get the leftovers. Yeah, it means I don't have to do the cooking and I don't have to do the cleaning and all that. But it also means I don't get those leftovers. And that was one of the things as a kid I remember was having all the like leftover turkey in like Ziploc bags in the fridge and making turkey sandwiches for like days afterwards. Sure. And those are some of the best turkey sandwiches. I mean, I would do those, some mayonnaise, one slice of Kraft singles, and some turkey on there. Oh man,
Could
it was
you
so
could
good.
you be any more white right now? Because that's very white of you. I personally, me personally, I'm not never was a big fan of turkey sandwiches. I mean, they're all right, you know. I just liked to go into the fridge and just get just pieces of cold turkey. And eat
Mm.
that, man. I could eat that like all day, you know, just stuff myself on cold turkey. Yeah, it's one of the disadvantages that I have experienced, but with being with a vegetarian, is that we don't have as much of that lovely kind of thing going on, unfortunately. So, but like I said, we'll figure
Yep.
something out. We'll
I,
have something.
dude, I know all about that.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to probably go to the store tomorrow and rattle through, like rifle through what's left at the grocery store. If you've ever been to a grocery store the day before Thanksgiving, it's mildly frightening because
Yeah, and I have
it's
to.
like that. It's like during an apocalypse, which you know we're kind of in the middle
Oh
of,
yeah.
and it's just like holy shit, wow, there's like nothing in here, man. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Or
that's the thing. I have to go tomorrow.
specifically, yeah, like specifically, there's like certain things that are gone, like completely
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah, I have to go tomorrow because I realized today that I don't have enough beer to get me through a Lions game.
Oh God,
So,
you don't want that.
no.
Heavens to Murgatroyd. Uh,
Heavens to Murgatroyd.
yes, correct. You're correct, sir. Um, well, I'll be damned. I just was surprised by something here
I
on
figured. I'm like,
Amazon.
what did you just.
Sorry, I was like, huh, I just found porn on Amazon.
Dude, what are you.
I don't even know how it came up. I was just
What does
like,
your wish list look? I don't know. You know what? I don't want to know what your wish list
was
looks like.
no, you know it's weird. I have this one movie on my wish list. Is called Hot Dog, the movie, and it's all about these guys. It's a kind of a raunchy '80s comedy that I remember seeing when I was a kid, and it had Shannon Tweed in it, and it was a movie about a ski slope and about a ski resort and about the crazy wild antics that happen at
Mm-hmm.
the ski resort. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I wonder. It's kind of still a little pricey. And I'm looking at I was just kind of glancing at like customers who viewed this item also viewed, and I came across one of them was like a collection of like the best of like a 4 hour best of classic porno scenes, you know, and it was all like old school porn stars from like you know from the 70s and 80s. And I was like, huh, that's weird. I didn't think you really could get porn on Amazon. And so I clicked on it, and sure as shit, there was a whole bunch of them that were just like. Now I'm curious. I would think that maybe they are like heavily edited kinds of porn, you know, movies or something like that, but where they aren't hardcore. But it was just still like, wow, I didn't think you could actually get porn on but who knew? Now I do. It's kind of weird. Anyway, we should move on. We've been bullshitting.
Yeah. So the other thing that's been taking up all my time lately is I found a new program for creating maps for like the virtual tabletops online.
Okay.
It's called Dungeon Draft.
Okay.
And I guess it's been out. It's only been out and actually out in production for less than a year. It's only been out since like May or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you what, it's really kind of cool. A bunch of people have put out expansion packs or asset packs, kind of like they do for Roll20, and this is kind of the same thing that I found. Basically, it's the same thing that I was using on Roll20, but not being specific to any virtual tabletop like Roll20 is. So it's a computer program that I can run on my computer and then upload the maps to whatever virtual tabletop I'm actually using. And
Okay.
I actually did this one guy's Patreon for like $3 and downloaded a shit ton of assets for this. And I actually spent the few hours before our show tonight just working on building some stuff and building some maps, and I've already built another map that I'm going to use later on, and it's I'm like totally addicted to this and building maps now, and I'm having a blast doing it. But it's a really cool program. Like I said, it's called Dungeon Draft. It's like $20 to get it. Comes with a bunch of free assets that are kind of cartoony.
Okay.
Not really my art style for what I like for my maps. So I found this other guy, Forgotten Adventures, I believe is the name. And for his Patreon, he actually has a shit ton of stuff put out. So it's actually really cool.
Okay. Cool.
And I've been having a lot of fun with it. And along that same line, the other thing that I've been playing with, and I actually had a few things because we've been having some problems with Roll20 off and on. It's mostly stable. It's not the greatest thing in the world. I've heard Fantasy Ground is better, but there's another tabletop out called Foundry VTT, and I decided to give that a shot and take a look at it. And I gotta say, I really like it. It gives you the option where I could actually host it here on my machine and have you guys all connect in on a peer-to-peer network, old
Okay.
school style, and actually run it. Now the problem is that we could very easily, even though I have a strong machine and a good internet connection, it would be very easy to get a lot of lag, especially if we started using audio, video, and everything like that that's built into it. So I've been looking at a lot of videos on YouTube on how to best set things up and how to work things. And I actually wound up going out and getting an account on the Forge, which is a partner site that, because every foundry needs a Forge,
Ah.
and they actually host the game, will host your game for you, and it's still cheaper than what I'm paying for Roll20 right now, but I'm just giving it a try at the moment, and it's I gotta say it's kind of cool. We tested it out. Rich was having some problems with the maps being kind of laggy, but he said he has the same problem with Roll20 because he's got an older computer. I wasn't able to check it out with Ian and Sydney, who I also know have older computers. So I mean, like,
Mhm.
my computer dealt with it fine. Renee's computer dealt with it fine. I don't think your computer is going to have any problem,
Probably
but
not.
but people with older computers may still have some problems with it. But the audio video quality, I think, is superior to what we get from Roll20.
Oh.
Um, and it actually lets you put your character name at the bottom underneath your name, instead of like it's saying Russ and then me having to put Merrick Harris underneath that type of
Okay.
thing. So it's kind of cool. And I really like the way that they do their lighting seems to work better than Roll20's. And one of the biggest things is that in Roll20, if you guys want to open a door, you say, okay, we're going to open this door. I have
Mhm.
to actually go into the dynamic lighting level or layer in Roll20, which shows all the drawn in walls and everything like that, and click on it and then delete it to get it to open the door. In this system, all you have to do is walk over and there's a little door icon on the screen. You click on it as a character, and if it's
Oh, cool.
unlocked, it opens.
That's cool.
If it's locked, it actually goes click and doesn't open.
I like that. That's cool.
And that is so much cooler for me because it takes me out of it when I have to switch layers
Yeah,
to do that type of thing. So,
absolutely.
and it's really cool the way that I can move things like on Roll20. If I want to have a creature that's like hidden, and I don't want you to see it until it exposes itself, type of thing. It I have to actually put it on the GM layer and then move it over, go to that layer, move it over, that type of thing. In this, all I have to do is right click it and click on its visibility, and it'll pop in. It's really kind of cool.
Cool. Well, I look forward to checking it out. I noticed that in the Discord chat that you had mentioned it. It's just I was really out of it for the last
Yeah,
couple of days.
I
So
understand. Yeah, Rich just said that he was working on macros earlier, and he said it's very customizable. Well, one of the other things you can do on this one is you can actually set up hotkeys at the bottom. So, like if say you have like a spell that you use all the time, you can actually set
that's
that
cool.
up. So it's like a video game. You just hit the number 1, and it'll cast that spell.
It
And
comes in handy, you know,
yeah,
things for like light spells or
yep.
for
And
you know, magic
it
missile or something.
it is fully integratable with D&D Beyond
Oh, nice.
through
Well,
some other like Chrome extensions and stuff like that.
well, it's only fucking smart to be
Yeah,
able to do that. I mean, make it make it compatible with D&D Beyond because it is, you know, pretty well used right now. I mean,
yeah.
D&D Beyond
I
is the
actually
shit.
when I created all your, they call them actors in there. When I created all the actors, which is all of you guys, I created all your characters in there. I actually opened up your character sheet, and then there's a little button that has a B next to your name. I clicked on that, pasted in the link to your character sheet in D&D Beyond, hit I think it was like update now or whatever, and it automatically updated your character in the game.
Okay. Wow. It's fucking cool, man. It sounds great. It sounds like you found a better kind of resource than Roll 20. I
Yeah,
mean, I didn't have any particular problem with Roll 20, but still.
that there for me it was the lighting. A lot of their lighting can be kind of funky, and Ian getting being, and a few times multiple people have had it where they've been able to see the entire map all of a sudden.
Yeah. No, I've had it too. That's happened to me too.
And that shouldn't be happening. So I'm really excited to see how this goes. I'm hoping that maybe we can get some people together this weekend and maybe try it out some more. I'm
Yeah.
even thinking about moving my other game to this system just to test it out more to see how it works. So, but yeah, if we can get more people on this weekend over the long weekend to try it out, and
Yeah.
just for like a half an hour or so, maybe run through a combat or something like that real quick, because the combat
I'd,
tracker looks really cool as well.
I'd be in. I'd be ready to go.
So yeah,
Let's do it.
that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna when I get a second, I'm gonna take a look at it and
Yeah, the server
check it
should
out.
be up and running all the time too. That's the other
Oh,
thing.
okay.
But
Yeah, that was cool.
by hosting it externally, the server should always be up for you to jump in and at least look at your character and play around with macros or whatever.
Right. Cool. I am. I just hope that it's. I mean, is it particularly user friendly? Because
There's a little bit of a learning curve, but it's a lot like it's very close to Roll 20. So it's just a matter of learning where things are. And the
okay.
thing is that you can, the other thing is whether or not we want to, because I know we've been rolling physical dice, and I'm fine with continuing to do that. If we do, we just use it as a map program, just like we did with Roll 20. But there's also the option of doing all of that on there, and to the point where you can actually target something, roll your dice on there. If you hit, you click and roll the damage, and it
Hmm.
will automatically apply that damage to whatever you hit.
Right.
Or the same
Okay.
thing, like if I attack you, if I target you, and I hit and roll the damage, you actually automatically just take the damage. It will just knock it right off your hit points. You don't have to worry about a thing.
Oh well, it sounds. I mean, it sounds like pretty. It sounds pretty awesome. Like I said, I'm looking forward to checking that out.
Yeah, CD just asked if you can create adventures in any current online RPG video game. Um, you can't in an RPG video game that I'm aware of. You can't really
Yeah.
create your own in anything.
Well, I think it depends. You know, like it depends on what you're talking about. Like, I think some of the like top-down isometric games that you can. There was an like a online group gaming kind of things that you could do, like with Pathfinder or Kingmaker and
Mm.
stuff like that. I'm not sure, but I think there were. ways to do that. Like with Divinity and the game that the
Original
company
Sin.
that made,
Original Sin.
Yeah, Original Sin, Divinity, Original Sin 2. I think that there are ways for you to like basically kind of custom
and
create
Pillars
stuff.
of Eternity. That was their other one, wasn't it?
Pillars of Eternity. That's not by the same company.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
No, but it is a similar. Pillars of Eternity is very similar to the classic like Icewind Dale and Baldur's Gate 2 and the original Baldur's Gates and stuff like that. Divinity Original Sin is has some similarities, but it's turn-based. The combat is turn-based, whereas Pillars of Eternity is just like Baldur's Gate.
One where you could create your own adventures was the old Neverwinter Nights.
Yes.
Isometric game.
Mm-hmm.
That one you could build your own adventures and actually put them out and have people download them and run them.
Yes. That's true. And you can get that on Steam. It's available on Steam. Well, we should move on. So last week, one of the only bright shining lights of 2020, besides Donald Trump being ousted from office, we got a new Animaniacs. A new season of Animaniacs.
So, okay, yeah, so we can talk about TV, because that was the other thing. That was the last thing I had on my list here was TV shows, because there's so many. So Animaniacs is one of the big ones. Yeah,
it is absolutely fantastic. It's genius. It is completely, I mean, just self-referential. It's completely irreverent. It's self-referential.
I will say I'm enjoying it, but I don't think it's as good as the original because I really miss the Good Feathers and a lot of the other characters.
Now they actually have an episode, or they do a thing where they
kind of explain why they're not there.
Right, they deal with it, and but I still am really enjoying it a great deal. You're right. I miss the Good Feathers and Rita and Runt and pretty much we just have Yakko Wacko and Dot, and we have Pinky and the Brain, which pretty awesome. But you're right. I miss some of the other ones too. So
the Good Feathers were always one of my favorites.
The Good Feathers are really funny. So yeah, I've been a little bummed that we haven't had some of those things, but at the same time, man, it has been absolutely hilarious. It has been they're making fun of. You can tell that the writers are definitely liberals. Because they have made fun of Trump, and I mean, these were all written in 2018 for the most part.
Yeah, and they make a reference to that in one of the first episodes about maybe Trump's still president.
We don't know. We're guessing, And they do have later on in the season, they do have a little joke about the 2020 election, where they were still like they're just like guessing.
The Cyclops episode, the Greek God episode was just oh my god, I was like losing it.
Oh man, I was.
And Diedrich Bader as Odysseus.
I know that you came to my island because it's a beautiful island. It's the best island in the world, and I have 2 eyes to see it. I have 2 eyes, 2 beautiful eyes to see my beautiful island. It's the best. And he's a Cyclops, I mean, oh my god! Just to deal with like the sheer like delusionary kind of shit that we were dealing with Donald Trump. I mean, thankfully, more and more states like Michigan finally like completely certified him. Nevada completely certified him.
Pennsylvania did too.
Pennsylvania certified him. So, I mean, I guess he did call for another recount in Georgia, which is dumb because he only lost by like 12,000 votes or something like that. So he's within his rights to ask for a recount. They've already counted once by hand. And now they got to recount again using a machine, which ends up being even more accurate. So it's just ridiculous. And seeing this cartoon make fun of him has been joyous, absolutely joyous. They've also been making fun of the Russian influence and stuff several times. They've made fun of Putin and the Russian like kind of the rumors and everything about that is amazing.
I like still seeing a lot of the more adult humor that's in there that's kind of hidden in and the good night everybody and
and
things like that.
Yeah,
so
he'll make a joke. Yeah, Wacko Yakko make a joke and he'll just look at the camera. Good night, everybody. And there's an episode near closer to the end. I binged it. I finished it off today. I watched about half of it.
I've been savoring them.
Yeah, I was like, should I savor it? Nah, fuck it. I'm saving it. And there's one episode where they do this whole thing on Marie Antoinette and the whole Eat the Rich and it was really, really funny. What was it? Oh, the joke was, do you know how hard it is to be rich? And she said, and Yakko is like, your only nickname can be, or one of the only nicknames you can have is Dick. And I was just like, holy shit. I think if anything, Animaniacs was always one of the best examples of a cartoon that was funny for kids. The kids would love it because it was cute and funny and stuff. But the humor, the comedy really was very adult.
Yes.
So it was really that perfect mix. I mean, Tiny Toons started with that.
Yep.
And then Animaniacs just like took that and ran with it. And I think if anything, the Animaniacs now is even more adult than the comedy is even more adult than it used to be. But it's still something that you can watch with your kids and go, and they'll laugh because it's
most of those jokes go right over their head.
Yeah, right over their head. Like there's one thing where they do this whole thing. It's a metaphor for gun control.
Bun control.
Bun control. I was like, oh my God, this is genius. It's absolutely genius.
Well, I watched the originals with my daughter.
Yeah.
When she was a kid. And I used to laugh my ass off. And I mean, she would giggle and laugh. And a lot of times, though, I was laughing and she'd just look at me like, because she didn't know why I was laughing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Like she was like, well, that was funny, but was it that funny? You know, I mean, really. And I'm like, yeah, no, absolutely. It's fucking hilarious. So, it's guys, check it out. It's on Hulu. It's a Hulu exclusive.
So
they even make jokes about it being a Hulu exclusive.
The very first episode. I mean, they've updated the song.
Yeah,
the original song,
the opening song. I love one of my favorites. Dot instead of it, Dot is cute and Yakko yaks. It's Dot has wit and Yakko yaks.
Yes.
I was like, that's really
and
cool.
Wacko packs away the snacks.
But
I like our careers have made comebacks, and it shows them all coming out of the grave.
Our careers have made comebacks, and then
the trolls will say, I forget what it is. The trolls will say we're something.
Yeah,
but we did meta first or something like that.
Yeah, and something like that. And then there's another one too, and because originally they went through all of the side characters too, you know. But now instead of after the Pinky and the Brain want to rule the universe, and instead of going into Slappy whacks them with her purse, it's something about the
a group of characters that tested well.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's about that. And then it's like, what was it?
The gender neutral and ethnically diverse. And
we're gender neutral and ethnically diverse, And so it's like, I'm like, that's really cool too. So they're really thinking about, they're really like, the whole first episode is really great because it's all about them like.
Well, that end when we sell out, we know we sold out.
Yeah. Hulu all over themselves, got a big old check, And the opening too is really great, where it's all this riff on Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, well that one they actually came out with ahead of time.
Yeah, they showed that on the trailer.
Yeah, that was their big trailer, which I thought was brilliant too.
Oh man, it's so good.
You did it, you the crazy bastard did it.
Yeah. Oh man. So guys, check it out. They dropped the entire season all at once. You can watch all 13 episodes. They're roughly 20 minutes apiece. And they are really, really just amazing. Some are a little better than others.
Yep.
I'll admit. Some of the skits are a little better than others. But they're, like I said, they're very self-referential. They joke about what's going on. They joke about it being a reboot. They joke about it. There's a lot of political humor, a lot of kind of social humor. Mm-hmm. About our society and whatnot.
Yeah, it is on Hulu. Is where it is.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, I know you got a couple other things to talk about. I was gonna real quick jump into this. Stella and I watched Enola Holmes on Netflix last night, and I gotta say, it was absolutely
That's a movie,
adorable.
right?
It is a movie, but it's based on a series of novels
Mm-hmm.
of a series of young adults or kids novels, and about the sister of Sherlock and Mycroft Holmes. And in this movie, Henry Cavill plays Sherlock, a much younger Sherlock Holmes, before he got involved with Dr. Watson and whatnot. And she talks to the camera a lot. She talks to the viewer a lot, and it's some people consider that poor storytelling, but I don't think so. I think it's fine if it's done right. And but it was super cute. We watched it. It's a 2-hour movie. They've already. It's got Millie Bobby Brown, who is well known for being on for the playing 11 on Stranger Things,
Mm-hmm.
and she was absolutely fantastic.
That's right. Renee actually just reminded me. We watched that. It was a while ago, but we watched it.
What, Enola Holmes?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was really cute.
It was super cute. You know, like I said, it was one of those movies that got a lot of major attention at first, and
She was actually fantastic, I thought.
She really was. She was really great. They're already talking sequels. I mean, it's like I said, there's a bunch of books that they can continue on and continue on the adventures of Enola Holmes. I really liked Cavill as Sherlock. He was a very much a supporting role, but it was really great. The whole thing was really great. I frustrated Stella because I figured it out. I go, yeah, you know what? I think this is probably the villain is probably, and she went, no, that's probably not. I don't think so. And then I was right. And she was like, son of a, how do you do that? You know, because I do that a lot sometimes when we're watching something.
I've watched a lot of TV and movies. They're pretty formulaic.
Yeah, particularly genre television. You know, we talk about it. I used to like, when Kelly and I used to sit and watch Buffy back in the day, and I would come over.
So did we, dude.
Yeah. No, I mean, even before you, but before you came around. But and she used to get mad at me sometimes because I'd be like, yeah, this is, I think this, and about 75% of the time I'd have it right. And she's, God damn it, how do you do that? It's like I like the shows, but quite often they're very formulaic, you know. And once in a while though, they'll throw in a you know, like Joss Whedon would throw you for a super loop by killing off a character that you did not see coming, you know. So.
Yeah, Joss Whedon, no one can be happy.
No, nobody, not for long periods of time.
Yeah. They're happy. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah, somebody's gonna die. We're gonna see some.
That's why I actually thought that was actually one of the things. One of the reasons why the whole thing was S.H.I.E.L.D. There was one point where everything was ending happy, and Renee and I both sat there like, "What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?" Because it's a Whedon show. And granted, it's not Joss Whedon. I mean, he helped create it. He's one of the executive producers.
Producer.
Yeah, but we're like, it's a Whedon show. What's going to happen? That this can't end happy. Something's going to happen, and they actually ended it happy.
Yeah,
they ended the season happy, and we were like, what happened? I'm confused now.
I haven't seen the series finale yet. I'm going to probably.
Well, not the series finale. This was like season 5 or whatever. Oh, okay. It's when Fitz and Simmons get married.
Okay, yeah. I like I said, I kind of stepped back from that show right after season 4, and I just kind of I kept missing it. I couldn't watch it when it was on. I was watching so many things. I go, you know what? I'll get around to these later. So they're all on Netflix at the moment. I would imagine that eventually Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will go over to Disney Plus when the contract runs out on Netflix. And I actually have, I think, 5 of the seasons on Blu-ray, but they've been real slow to put things out. Like Blu-ray and DVD sets have slowed down quite a bit.
Oh, just as a side note, because this just made me think of it. One of the other things that came up over this last week that I was going to talk about, I think last week, but not. But now, since we didn't do it, Wonder Woman 1984. Christmas Day in theaters and HBO Max at the same time.
Yep.
So I will be watching it on HBO Max. I will
also be watching it.
I don't think I'll be going to the theaters yet because I don't know that our theaters will be open yet.
Well, the shutdown is they're saying it's only 3 weeks. Hopefully,
they're saying
But
I have a feeling we're shut down through the end of the year.
I think that's such a horrible thing. But yeah, I mean, it's probably, you're probably right. You know, but yeah, I'll see. I'm very much looking forward to Wonder Woman 1984, and I'm glad that they are finally going to put it up.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing more and more. Speaking of Wonder Woman and that too, we're seeing more and more from the Snyder Cut, and they're saying, you know, more and more things are cropping up. Apparently, Amber Heard, unfortunately, did some shooting as Mara. We also have what's his fuck from who played the Joker in Suicide Squad. He
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto, thank you. He's showing up too. I guess he's going to show up in the movie. Now, from what I understand, they did a bunch of extra shooting, but apparently only about 4 minutes of brand new material is going to be in these films. That they actually are just bringing up.
It's gonna be 8 hours long, but only 4 minutes of new material is.
Right. So, well, it's stuff that we still haven't seen.
Yeah.
Because it was just on the cutting room floor. It was cut from the original footage. But yeah, they still
did you watch the thing I posted, by the way? The honest trailer for Firefly?
Yes, I did, for Firefly, yeah.
Joss Whedon, the man responsible for Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Avengers, the Snyder Cut. Yeah.
I laughed out loud at that. I actually was like, oh my God, that's really good. Speaking of things that we posted, this is a little off topic from what we're talking about right now, but if you check on our Facebook page right now, I also put a link to the new footage that they just put out, the Critical Role put out today.
I watched that.
Yeah, about the process of how a animated show is made. They wanted to, Sam Riegel kind of hosts it and well, not kind of, he talks you through it, and basically to kind of show people that yes, they are still working on things, but it does take quite a bit of time.
That's why it takes 18 months to get
right. Originally, they were saying that we would probably see the first season by fall of 2020, but unfortunately, thanks to COVID-19, things have been delayed and whatnot. And the process itself is a pretty extensive one and pretty involved. So they are still working on it. They're still working hard. And watching the video kind of puts a lot of it into perspective. And
they don't tell you what point in that process they're actually at right now.
Well, if they've been at it for this long, I'd say they're probably in the ADR stage now. My guess is that I would imagine that the show, because from some of the things that he said and alluded to, I would guess that they're probably in
ADR.
That they've seen.
That stands for. Nobody knows what that stands
nobody
for.
Really knows. Yeah. But they're adding, you know, they've already recorded everything and now they're re-recording certain lines and stuff like that. My bet is that they'll probably make an announcement after the first of the year, and we'll probably see it sometime this summer. We'll probably see season 1 sometime this summer, and it will be on Amazon Prime.
Yep.
Which is really great. I would like to know how people that donated it, that were supposed to get it, are going to get it now that it's
if they don't have Prime. Yeah.
If they don't have Prime. So I don't know if they're going to send you a Blu-ray, you know, or what of the season.
They said they're still working on that, but that it will be available to everyone that backed it,
contributed, so, backed it.
Yeah. So one of the other things, another show that we don't have a date for yet, but it was supposed to be out, supposed to premiere in fourth quarter, and we still don't have fourth quarter 2020, and we haven't seen a date for it yet. Is DC's Titans season 3? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But they have revealed, and this is the biggest reveal that they've come out with, is they've revealed Starfire's costume.
Yes, and it looks fantastic.
It looks fucking cool as hell.
Yeah. Absolutely fantastic. I'm very encouraged. I gotta say that, like I said, I'm still about halfway through the second season, and I gotta say, man, that show just has not disappointed. It's been a really solid show.
I really like that show a lot.
Some have been a little better than others,
yep.
But for the most part, that show has been really solid, and I've really enjoyed very much this depiction of the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
You know. there were some disappointing things, like character wise. I was like characters that they knocked off that I was kind of bummed about, that I really wanted to see more of. But I don't want to. There's probably some people that haven't watched it yet, so I don't want it to be too spoilery. But yeah, it was kind of a bummer. But overall, I think the show itself has been really, really great.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking forward to seeing what else uh, they come up with too. You know.
We're seeing I like seeing the evolution of Dick Grayson going from Robin to Nightwing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and then Jason Todd coming in as the new Robin, the hothead that Bruce sent to Dick to calm him down
Yeah.
and teach him.
Yeah. Yeah, and they've also hinted around that he's going to be eventually becoming the Red Hood. So that's kind of cool too. I mean, I like to see how that journey happens too. Speaking of superhero shows, I just finished off the first season of Black Lightning,
Okay.
and I gotta say, it's a solid show, man. It's on Netflix. It's all 3 seasons are on Netflix right now. So I watched the first season. It is a really, really great show.
Cool.
And a great addition.
It's on my list.
Arrowverse. Yeah.
My ever-growing list.
A great addition to the Arrowverse. So
yeah, Renee and I have been watching Schitt's Creek.
I've heard really good things.
Yeah, you know what? I watched the first episode, and just the first episode, I almost gave up on the first episode. After the first episode, I'm like, this show is not going to be for me. This is not. I'm not finding it funny. I didn't enjoy the first episode. Renee said that everyone that she's talked to, because a bunch of people at work were telling her that she had to watch it, and she's like, they say you have to get through like the first like 5 or 6 episodes
Of Schitt's Creek?
of Schitt's Creek. Yeah. And yeah, those first few episodes are really rough. By the end of the first season, I was completely hooked. We're in the 3rd season now, and it is absolutely hysterical. This show is so fucking funny.
Well, it's won awards.
Yep.
It's I mean, Eugene Levy is and his son both. His son actually plays his son on the show, and they've both gotten a lot of attention and award-winning attention for that show, and I think that's really great.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a really good show. I do recommend it, but yes, you have to get through the first few episodes. Right. And after that, it actually does get quite a bit funnier, and you're seeing character growth. At the end of the 2nd season, it was the 2nd season ends, and it almost feels like a series ender. So I'm like, Renee was like, did they think they were getting canceled? I'm like, probably.
Yeah, maybe.
But I didn't realize it actually takes place in Canada. They're actually in Schitt's Creek is a small town in Ontario.
That's funny. I didn't know that.
Which, speaking of small towns in Ontario, Letterkenny comes back on the 26th of December. Which I can't fucking wait. It's only 7 episodes though, or 8 episodes. 7 episodes, I think.
Let's take out 2020 with a bang. You might as well. You know?
Pitter patter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. That show is one of the fucking funniest shows on TV.
If it's available, I know it's a little weird to try and find those shows, Canadian shows and stuff on DVD and Blu-ray and shit. But if it's available, I'm fucking buying it. When the series ends, I will buy it because it is so damn good.
Oh my god, Renee and I have watched it at least twice. I think we might have started it a 3rd time, but yeah, it is so fucking funny.
I love it. I think it's fucking great. I need to go back and like just start over from scratch again watching it, because that's the thing. It's such a short seasons and then short episodes. I mean, you could binge the entire fucking series in a weekend if you really put your maybe getting a little bit now, but a long weekend maybe. But like Stella and I we'll throw down and just like in the evening sometimes 4, 5, 6 episodes of Big Bang Theory. She loves it, and it's been really great, so you definitely can get through through
I had to allow Renee's comment. Fuck you, Shorzy.
You know what? It's one of the things that's genius about this show is the insults are just so fucking like, holy shit! How do they think about this stuff? You
Well, and
know?
the thing is that Shorzy is Wayne.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Well, it's that actor. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking good. But it's become this. It's part of Canadian culture, and it's become part of American culture now. People are embracing it so much. You
Well, I
know.
love that that in
How are you now?
in the last season or the season before last, where they come to Michigan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They come to Michigan because his sister is dating that guy from Michigan.
Yeah.
And so you can tell, yeah, it takes place in Ontario, which is just on the other side of the bridge.
Yep.
I mean, they're not near Windsor; they're up in the country a little bit, but they're close enough.
From but they hate degens from up country.
Right. Exactly.
Fucking degens from up country.
I had to end up looking up some of that slang. I looked it up online.
I had to too because I didn't understand some of it.
What the fuck did Ferda mean? I was like,
yeah, I had to look at it for the boys.
Ferda, it's for the boys, right?
Yeah,
because and there's a lot of hockey
yes.
hockey slang and stuff, particularly when dealing with the two hockey players and all that the shit they
fucking embarrassing.
The coach, man, I swear to God. So yeah,
and what's her name? Gail. She just makes me cringe.
Oh man,
every time.
Gail the bartender.
Yeah. Every time, man, she just makes me fucking cringe.
Oh yeah, yeah. The way she just looks at people, and she like,
and the way she just
moves her
jerks and moves
and
yeah.
I like when the what's the one couple?
The
swinger couple.
Yeah.
Hey, Wayne, how are you now? That's bad, you. And it's just like they invite the people over, a bunch of people over there to the McMurrays, yeah. And and then like she's like, all right, I'm down, but these are the rules, you know. And they're like, yeah. But the part when McMurray realizes he's been measuring his cock the wrong way. And like one of the last seasons, he's just like, I've been measuring and my penis is da-da-da. And you're like, what the fuck, man? You know, it's just like, oh shit. It's a really good show.
Fuck guys, hey.
We have talked about the show many, many times on our show. Guys, if you're not watching Letterkenny, you're doing yourself a disservice. It is one of the funniest like scripted comedies that I've seen in a long time. It's out of Canada. It's amazing.
So
Canadian television, man. I mean, they know what they're doing. They can do really good genre television, and they can turn out some amazing comedy.
So the curling club opened back up, and
Ice shuffleboard.
Yes, and that's kind of what we're doing now, or what we were doing. Now we're closed down, but we were doing the Learn to Curls, and one of the women showed up, and one of the guys, when she walked in, did the Bonnie McMurray thing with her name, and one of the other guys was like, "Why don't you take it down about 20% there, Squirrely," and gave his name. Right. Like immediately, just
20% there, Squirrely Bob, whatever.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right, moving on.
So we were talking about Schitt's Creek though. Schitt's Creek also very funny, but yeah, Letterkenny, definitely watch it. So a couple of other shows. His Dark Materials just started back up on HBO.
Yeah, I have not watched that yet.
Renee and I have not started season 2 yet, but season 1 was actually really good.
That's what I've heard.
So yeah, if you have HBO Max, definitely check that out. It's the Golden Compass series, but it's being done, from what I understand, it's being done much better for people that actually were fans of the books. They said that it is much better done than the movie was.
Right. From what I understand, the movie was somewhat disappointing. I never got a chance to see it, but it wasn't quite what they were expecting or what they wanted. But this new show is apparently doing the source material a much better service.
Well, they're doing it as a series, which is the way I think any book should actually be done now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think books should be made into movies anymore. I think they should be made into series.
I agree. I think I was telling Stella the other day, I think that ultimately the Harry Potter series would have been a lot better as a television series.
Yeah.
And
do it as a
high end HBO.
Yeah. Like an 8 season series.
Yep.
For 7 books.
Yep. Absolutely.
But
Game of Thrones style, baby.
Yeah, Game of Thrones style. So one of the other ones though is Mandalorian, which has been fucking out of this world for this season. I mean,
absolutely.
Seriously, it has been so fucking good.
You know, you can buy those cookies.
The green ones that he was
the cookies that that Baby Yoda stole from that kid. Yeah, you can buy those cookies. I think from William Sonoma. You can get those cookies.
But yeah, the show has been spec-fucking-tacular.
Yeah, it's been really great. The funny thing is there were a couple of big like kind of flubs in the most recent episode.
Yeah, I saw Gene's guy.
Yeah, it was nice to see Cara Dune and I can't remember the other guy's name, his character name, but to see those characters come back, it was kind of fun. But yeah, there's a scene with where they see a PA or something. You see him on camera, and then nobody noticed it apparently. And then there's another scene where you can see Cara Dune. I mean, Gina Carano, who plays Cara Dune, started off as a stunt woman in her career, and she takes a tumble and she falls on essentially a beige tumbling mat. So they kind of screwed that up too in one of the scenes. I guess it happens in very early on.
I have to go back and watch it because I didn't catch Gene's guy at the time. I saw the memes about him and the fact that somebody put out the Hasbro figure of him.
Yeah.
Which was funny as hell. Yeah. But overall though, I am really enjoying this show.
I am too. I did get some unfortunate news yesterday about Gina Carano.
I heard it a while ago. A lot of people have been calling for her to be axed from the show and never be back on again. And
apparently, Gina Carano is not only is she a anti-masker and COVID denier, she is she's also a conspiracy theorist that's gone into about that the anti. At the very least, I don't know if she was a Trump supporter, but she's definitely was about not about Biden winning, and it was very much about the conspiracy of.
I've heard that she's made transphobic remarks as well.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I also know she's apparently has joined Parler as well, which is now becoming the new social media for people that are basically racists. So, for lack of a better term, it's more complicated than that, but yeah. So unfortunately, and it sucks because I liked her. I really liked her. I was like, man, I mean, honestly, I've always thought she was kind of hot, but I liked her in Deadpool. I liked her in this too. So
superhero landing. She's gonna do a superhero landing.
Terrible. Anyway, yes. And it's just kind of a bummer. So I don't know what's going to happen with Ms. Dune or Miss Carano, but it's just too bad because she's just kind of getting started and she's kind of starting to take the world by storm. Mm-hmm. And now the community is kind of calling for her to be canceled.
Yeah,
because of her political leanings.
Now, see, so for Mandalorian, I'm going to guess that next episode, which I think is the 6th episode, which makes sense because that's when I heard it was going to happen, but we will actually get to see Ahsoka Tano.
Yes, yeah. I'm looking forward to that too.
I am really looking forward to seeing how they do her in this.
Yeah. Speaking of more sci-fi television too. Star Trek Discovery has continued to be really great. Is continuing
Yes.
to be a fantastic show for what it is. I mean, we saw in this most recent episode the Discovery getting retrofitted
I
with
haven't caught up to the
new.
latest episode.
Okay,
I
well, I won't.
I
I won't go
I
into
am at
any.
least one, maybe two episodes behind.
Okay. Well, I won't go into any details, deep details, but they do, advance it a little bit because it is almost 1,000 years in the future. And this was one of the things that I was really excited to
Yeah.
see was to see
The last
what
episode I saw
what the
was the first one where they actually got to the Federation.
okay. Well, now they made
That guy
some.
was a dick too.
He was, but they've made some updates to the Discovery itself, technology wise, and that was one of those things that I was like excited to see is like how the technology would have progressed from 1,000 years further. In fact, in my opinion, I feel like it kind of hasn't progressed as much as I thought it would.
Well, with the burn, that would have.
The burn is only 80 years ago or something like that. It wasn't that long ago comparatively. When you
Yeah.
really think about almost 1,000 years, you'd think that I would just think that there would be even further along. So, but I did like to see like that they did integrate certain things and make some really cool adjustments. And like just as an example, the comm badge is like all of the technology they need.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that they have introduced is the personal teleporters.
Right. It's the comm badge is a personal teleporter, but it's also it's a communicator, but it's also a tricorder. And they go like this, and a holographic display shows up in their hands for whatever they need, and everything is intuitive, and it's just some really cool stuff. And I think when you get to that episode, when you get further and you can see the changes that they've made, and it's not really cosmetic so much. It's more just like functionally and stuff. That's what some cool stuff. There was some
and then just one more show that has I believe it's the 11th season of Archer is now out as well, which I've gotten back into watching Archer. I'm still many seasons behind on that show, but man, that show is still just so fucking funny.
Another really brilliant show, honestly. Very self-referential, very irreverent, and I've always been a big fan. I've never had a chance to sit and watch it like all the time, but when I do catch episodes, I laugh my ass off.
But yeah, Archer is finally coming out of his coma, which I guess he's been in the coma for the last 4 seasons or something like that.
Yeah, because each season has been dramatically different. Like one's in space, and one he's like an adventurer.
Yeah, Pirate Island or Parrot Island or whatever, and all those, the noir and it's
so it's his fever dreams while he's in
I'll allow
coma.
that.
Yeah,
I'll allow splooge.
I don't know the reference.
I don't. Oh yeah, it's an Archer reference. It's Pam specifically says it a lot. But yeah, it's one of those. I'm like, wow, I'm surprised that Twitch's chat bot caught that one. But yeah, still just really liking that show. It is Renee binged the entire season 11 in a day.
Wow.
Yeah, she's a huge Archer fan. But yeah, so what else you got? We're at an hour and a half now. So.
Okay, so some quick hits. The sequel to Ready Player One, the book, has come out today.
Did it come out today? Okay, yes. I have to download it. I have to go get it. I've been watching for it. Amazon has not suggested that to me as a as a novel.
Well, here it is. Ready Player 2 by Ernest Cline came out today, 11/24/20. It's Ernest Cline's 2011 debut. Ready Player One was a smash hit, inspiring a blockbuster movie and spending over 100 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. And set in the year 2045, it centers on Oasis, a virtual world where most of humanity spends their days. When its creator dies, he leaves behind a series of pop culture-based puzzles. Whoever cracks them first will inherit his fortune. Now there's a sequel, Ready Player 2, kicking off days after Wade Watts, protagonist of the first book, wins the contest. It sees him facing a new quest after discovering the hidden after discovering that hidden within the vaults of Oasis creator lies a technological advancement that will make it 1,000 times more wondrous and addictive. So it is available to buy in hardback, ebook, and audiobook formats on Tuesday, 24th of November. The first book was also recently republished in a special edition hardback. So you guys might want to check that out. I am looking forward to eventually reading that or listening to the audiobook. The audiobook for the first one was read by Will Wheaton, which is really, really fantastic because he is referenced in the book as a president.
As the president, yes.
Cool. So Thor: Love and Thunder is they're working on that right now, which is the fourth Thor movie. It's set to have an ensemble cast, with the setup being likened to Avengers 5. They're saying that it's going to be very similar to the way Captain America Civil War was very much like an Avengers 2.5. So it's going to be it sounds like it's pretty cool. The movie is due to start production in Australia in January of 21. So hopefully we'll see that get started soon. Australia has seen and has handled COVID-19 much better than we have, so they are not suffering nearly as much as we are and seeing that kind of thing. Thankfully, they are starting to roll out. They said that we should see. I saw a blurb saying that we should see some of the first rounds of the vaccines come out in mid-December. So cool. But anyways, Chris Pratt is supposed to have a cameo in the film. We're also going to see Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson, and Natalie Portman will all be returning. Christian Bale will also be featured in the movie in a mysterious new role. So my hope really is that we see Beta Ray Bill, but who knows?
There's been rumors about that, but yeah, I'm hoping.
Been rumors. From what I understand, Christian Bale is not doing the voice of Beta Ray Bill. In Burbank, California, a little kind of fun thing here, a 7.5 foot tall bronze Batman statue is now on display in the downtown area. It's a 600-pound statue, is digitally sculpted by Alejandro Pereira Escura, based on the DC chief creative officer, publisher Jim Lee's seminal Hush arc of Batman, with writer Jeff Loeb, inker Scott Williams, and colorist Alex Sinclair. The 3D sculpture was manufactured by the local business, Burbank business, American Fine Arts Foundry and Fabrication. It was done in a partnership with DC Comics or DC and, Warner Media and the Burbank Tourism Agency, Visit Burbank. So kind of cool. It's a pretty awesome bronze statue of Batman. Let's see. Red Dead Online. If you're playing Red Dead 2, Red Dead Redemption 2 on any system, they do have an online version similar to Grand Theft Auto 5 Online. And apparently Red Dead Online is going standalone next month. So if you haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2, you can still play the online version for something like, it looks like it's going to be available on all systems. So you'll be able to purchase it until February 15th for $5. So holy shit, $5 to play at to be an online cowboy. Pretty cool. I have played it a bit myself. I haven't gotten seriously into it because I do a lot of gaming and a lot of other things. I just haven't had time. But it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool game.
It is a pretty cool game, but like you, I haven't really gotten into it either. It didn't grab me, but I'm not a big Western guy.
I've always planned to go back and check it out a little bit more, play it a little bit more when I'm not playing, 5 other games.
Yeah.
We also had the Golden Joystick Awards just recently. It was hosted. The show was hosted. I believe it was shown mostly online, but was hosted by friends Laura Bailey and Travis Willingham, the lovely married couple from Critical Role that we have, of course, are big fanboys of.
Yep.
It was a big deal.
I'm huge fans of the two of them, particularly.
Yeah, particularly. They're really great. But some really great games came out. We got some great awards. Last of Us 2 took home Best Storytelling, Best Visual Design, Best Audio, and it was the ultimate game of the year. as well, Last of Us 2,
Okay.
which I haven't played yet. But I did
I've
notice once again that it is on super sale right now for the PlayStation 4. A number of other games, best game expansion, No Man's Sky Origins, considering that it was a game that was very disappointing when it first came out, and it was touted to be this amazing thing, is now selling. A game that's several years old is now again selling for the $60 premiere price. So that's saying something. There's No Man's Sky. Okay, yeah, No Man's Sky Origins. Naughty Dog is the studio of the year, which has put out the games like Uncharted and some of the other really great games. Also, Death Stranding was the game that features, Daryl from the Walking Dead. Was considered the PC game of the year. God of War Ragnarok is the most wanted game, apparently, that people are talking about as it's coming up. The sequel to the previous God of War. Those are the main big ones. There were some other games that apparently the best performer of the year was Sandra Saad, who plays Kamala Khan in The Avengers, which is, again, a game that I am probably going to get sooner rather than later since it is on big super sale. Another real quick bit before we get going, I wanted to point this one out to you. Apparently, I know you're a big fan of his, but John Barrowman will be returning to the role of Captain Jack in this year's festive special of Doctor Who.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
It sees the return of a fan favorite character. John Barrowman will be stepping back into the shoes or coat of Captain Jack Harkness after an almost decade-long absence, although we did see him briefly in an episode of season 12 called Fugitive of the Jadoon. Before that, the last time the character appeared in Doctor Who was back in 10, and the Captain Jack fronted spin-off Torchwood ended afterwards in 11. Now the immortal time traveler is here to help the fam deal with some serious trouble brought by Captain Jack's old enemies, the Daleks. The Doctor herself is currently unable to offer her own assistance considering she's locked up in space prison, so it'll be up to her former companion to try and save the day in this episode titled Revolution of the Daleks. Or Daleks.
Daleks. Yeah. What's funny is when I saw him years ago at Fandom Fest, and he actually mentioned something because he was still on Arrow at the time. He was playing Malcolm Merlin, and he had told them he was talking about it. He said, "Yeah, they extended my contract. I actually will be on next season. Blah blah blah." He was talking about it. He's like, "However, I told them that if at any time Doctor Who wants me to come back to play Captain Jack, I'm gone."
Nothing like having a royal flush in your hand.
Yeah, it's if they ever call me, I'm going to do that.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool though too. And there's a couple other things here, but I think the one other thing.
Hey, Auntie Dawn, that's a name we haven't seen on there before. I know she's been around and checked us out, but haven't seen her in the chat. So
welcome, Auntie. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're enjoying the show. One last thing, I did see this article too. Jim Ryan from PlayStation, the PlayStation boss, he said that absolutely everything is sold, but the shortage isn't because of COVID-19. It comes to stock of PS5. That's according to the PlayStation boss Jim Ryan, who discussed the system's early success with the Russian news agency TASS, T-A-S-S. We know when PS5 stock will be coming back to stores, but it sounds like Sony isn't sitting on any big stockpiles that haven't been shipped out to retailers yet. Everything is sold. Absolutely everything is sold. And everything will be sold in Russia. There's no doubt about that. So my guess is one of the reasons why the PlayStation consoles aren't on the shelves now is that the retailers are holding them back so that they don't just disappear before Black Friday. And so that there are ones on the shelf for to fill the pre-orders, and then also to have some on the shelf for when the holiday season gets rolling in the next couple of days. So The console has seen stock shortages ever since it hit the market earlier this month, which Ryan said is largely due to strong demand rather than any production issues that stem from the pandemic. We might have had a few more to sell, but not very many. The guys on the production/manufacturing side have worked miracles. So once again, guys, you may have to wait a couple extra weeks or maybe a month or two extra before PlayStation 5 is readily available on shelves everywhere. It's always that initial push is always kind of crazy.
Yep.
So, that's about it. I mean, I'm sure I got some other things to talk about, but they can wait. And
yeah, I think I'm good for everything I wanted to get to tonight. So
I'm just things kind of it kind of sucked for me a little bit here at the end with the parade having been canceled, but at least we did a lot of great work. We're going to see some of that stuff is going to be seen online. If you guys can check it out, please do. And here's hoping that as we move forward, now that thankfully like more and more of the states have completely certified Biden and as him winning, and I mean it's been obvious for quite a while, but now Donald Trump's team has started we're going to start the transition stuff, and I'm hoping that this is a sign of good things to come.
Yeah, they have actually given the approval finally to start the transition process.
Right, exactly. Even though old Donnie is still hasn't conceded. So
yeah, well, he never will.
They never will. No. That election was stolen. It was stolen from me. What the fuck, man? Really? So, guys, just because that this is a thing and that Donald Trump is out of office, that doesn't mean we can sit on our laurels. It is time to continue to fight and to be vigilant and watch things. We here at
2 years is going to be a big election.
Right. We here at Nerds with Alcohol don't like to get overly political, but this is an important thing, guys. So I like to express a little bit here and there. And but thank you for everybody for voting and getting out and being and I was actually really proud of the fact that this was the most well attended election.
The highest voter turnout. Both candidates got more votes than any presidential nominee in history.
So, and that's pretty amazing. So, considering that, it was pretty sad for when maybe 20% of the country was voting for a while there, and but now we're actually seeing a great voter turnout. So it's pretty great. I can't think of anything else. Other than just the normal standard stuff. We got another game coming up in this coming Friday.
Yeah, in a week and a half.
Correct? Yep, week and a half. So guys, be sure to come in, check us out, Tavern Nights, and it's a lot of fun. I've been having a great time. I think we're all having a great time. We just hit level 6, so our
level 6. Level 6.
Exactly. Guys, be sure to check us out on all the places you can find quality podcasting. Ladies and gentlemen, we are, of course, on iTunes. We're on the Google Play Store, which is actually something different now. Did they finally change that over?
It's still Google Play Store, I think. It's Google Podcasts, I think, now. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I haven't actually gone on there to look, because Play, I think, is dead now. Google Play is dead.
Well, we're on Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, radio.com, and of course, you can still download and stream all of our episodes at www.nerdswithalcoholshow.com. Also, guys, we are, of course, every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock on Twitch, and a few days later on Drinking Nerds on YouTube.
Like CD just said, Happy Turkey Day, everybody. This will actually probably be out on Thanksgiving. If I can get it done tomorrow night, which I should be able to. But you can follow us on most of the social medias. We are on Facebook, Nerds with Alcohol Show. We are on Twitter, @Drinking Nerds. We are on Instagram, Drinking Nerds. And we are still on Untapped, although I haven't really been on there much lately. Just search for Drinking Nerds and send us a friend request, and we'll get you added. Also, as far as YouTube goes, we do put all of our episodes up on YouTube. I also do, and here on Twitch, I actually do a show on Friday nights when we're not doing our game, called Friday Night Firefight, where you can watch me get my ass kicked in a big giant robot tank type thing, where I play Mech Warrior. And then I've been doing on Sunday mornings, I've been doing Sunday Morning Star Wars, where I'm working through the Sith storyline for Star Wars The Old Republic. Once that's done, I will go on to something else and kind of run through each of the 8 characters. I've done each of them myself personally since the game's been out. The game's been out for like 9 years, so it's not like it's a new game or there's any real major spoilers in there, because most people that have played the game have already played the game.
I got to tell you, man, now that I'm off work, I am really looking forward to sitting down and doing some serious gaming, man. Get back into my games, do some artwork.
Yeah, how about some Nerds with Alcohol artwork?
I'm that's actually on my agenda. I'm gonna finally get and put
maybe some Tavern Night stuff too.
I've got a couple of things that I'm kind of like, I've got some ideas for, and
cool.
I've got a couple other things that I'm working on as well. But my big plan is to, I don't want to like just sit on my ass. I mean, like this week I'm taking it easy. And probably
why?
Yeah. Probably this week and next week I'm probably going to take it easy. But my goal each day is to get something kind of squared away. Like this room, you can't see it, but the floor has just got all kinds of stuff just stacked here on the floor that I need to take care of. Various different things around the house. My goal is to at least get one thing done per day before I like sit down to draw or game or whatever.
Yep.
And then kind of get a few projects done around here, hopefully before I leave for Florida. And I mean, I love going down to Florida. I still very much want to, and I hope it happens. And I just gotta admit, I'm a little worried. So yeah, we'll see. So anyways, all right, we should probably do this. Sign it off.
And so all right. Well, I think on that note. Until next time. Slancha. Oh, that was kind of loud, but not great.
Not the best.
Here, let's
do another one.
Yeah, it's because I'm using a standard pint glass. See, it's a Superman pint glass, but it's a standard pint glass. So.
Where are our glasses?
Well, I've got one of those too, but I only use one of them. So
it's terrible.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.